Hey guys, what's up? This is GaLm and welcome to another update video. Today is June 20th, at least in terms of me recording this, and we have a lot to talk about. It has been a month since my last update video, and E3 was last week, and that was interesting. I haven't checked out absolutely everything from E3. There's been definitely a lot of stuff that's been catching my eye, but you can go ahead and look at the description down below. I did stream the E3 conferences, so if you want to see any of my reactions to like EA or Ubisoft or Microsoft or Sony, you can go down there and you will be able to watch those in their entirety, as well as maybe even a little bit of a bonus. I streamed Pokemon for a bit, just like a little bit of a prototype thing with crap audio because I didn't have the sound running through my computer. I had it running through my mic, so it was pretty bad. So it was a really big jokey kind of playthrough, but it was fun. So if you're interested in seeing Pokemon, more fucking Pokemon, you can have that. But we have a lot to talk about, and this is probably going to end up being a pretty rambly video. You can look down in the description down below for hopefully a little bit of a summary of the things that we're going to be trying to do. I'm not going to go into like super big detail in the description because that's what the video is for. So let's get to talking. So since the last update video, or rather in the last update video, I said I was going to be trying to finish Rise of the Tomb Raider and the Fallout 4 DLC and the Witcher 3 DLCs before Mirror's Edge Catalyst came out. And the reason I said that was because there was 20 days. I also said I was going to try and do Heavy Rain and Twilight Princess HD. Unfortunately, what ended up happening was a whole lot of shenanigans. I spent a lot of time basically double rendering, where I basically had both of my computers rendering. That's double rendering. So they're constantly rendering. Their CPUs are at 100%. And when that's happening, I really can't do much in terms of recording or even doing anything other than just kind of sitting around and watching stuff and passing the time. So I've caught up on a lot of anime. I caught up on Game of Thrones. There's still other stuff that I have to catch up on. As a side note, this season of anime has been pretty freaking awesome. There's been some really nice animes. I've been enjoying myself with those. But God, I spent so much time just kind of like sitting around rendering, and then the worst part has been that I've been rendering and uploading for pretty much those days. So I'd like wake up and go, okay, shit, I gotta edit. Okay, we gotta render this, and then I have to have it uploaded by like 1 o'clock, so that way it's processed by like 4, and it's been a mess. So I wasn't able to do what I wanted to. I mean, we just barely finished Rise of the Tomb Raider like a bit ago, and we just barely started Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and I haven't even recorded that much, and it's been a mess, and I apologize for that, because usually I'm really on the ball with recording. Like, anybody who's been subscribed to my channel for a long time, they know that, you know, sometimes there are just, like, weeks where I post 50 to 70 videos, and they're like, what the hell are you doing, GaLm? Mercy! Mercy! And then over the last couple of weeks, it's been more like maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 6, maybe 7, I don't know. It's been really inconsistent, and that's not what I've been wanting. But, oh well. So what am I going to be doing about it, especially since we have a couple of things coming up. We have RTX coming up next week, and we also have, I have a family thing coming up in the middle of July, between July 15th and like July 18th. I'm an uncle now, so we're going to be visiting my family to check out the baby and be like, wow, that's definitely a baby that doesn't know what's going on. So that'll be interesting. But what am I going to be doing in the meantime? Now, I do want to do all the things that I said in the last update video. Those are kind of my priorities still, so I want to do Fallout 4. I want to finish the Fallout 4 stuff. I want to finish it for reals, have that finale so I can give my thoughts on it. People have been like, I want to know what you think about Fallout 4, and I want to see the other endings. And I'm like, okay, yeah, do those. And then the DLCs, like Far Harbor and stuff, and they fucking showed more DLCs at E3 at the Bethesda Conference, so probably going to have to do some of those. And then there's the Witcher 3 expansions, which are huge, and I've been hearing a lot of good things about those, so I want to get around to those. Heavy Rain and Twilight Princess HD. Now those are going to come a little bit sooner. So what my general plan is at this particular moment, I'm going to try and finish Mirror's Edge Catalyst as soon as possible. I'm just going to try and record. And if that means having a day where I only post like 1 or 2 videos rather than like 3 or 4, that's fine. Because at the moment I've been really kind of slacking off because of trying to post so many videos a day without having as much backlogged, and it's problematic. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna focus on Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I'm gonna try and finish it as soon as possible within the next 1 or 2 days in terms of recording, and then once I'm done with that, we're gonna start streaming we're going to start streaming Heavy Rain, and we're going to start streaming Twilight Princess HD. Not on the same day, we're going to stream Heavy Rain first, and that might take 2 days, that might take 1 day, I'm not exactly sure. And then after I'm done with that, we'll stream through all of Twilight Princess HD, which will probably take a good number of days, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 6. We will see. And then that content will definitely tide you guys over for the next couple of weeks. So that will hopefully work out. Then obviously I'll probably end up doing multiplayer recording sessions over the course of this week because a lot of people are going to RTX. You can absolutely bet on Chilled and Z showing up there. I don't think Smarty's going there. Tom's definitely going there. I'm meeting him on Wednesday rather than Thursday, so I'm actually going to be going there a little bit earlier than just before RTX. So I gotta do a 3-hour drive. That'll be interesting. So yeah, over the next week, I'm gonna finish up Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and then we're gonna stream through Heavy Rain and Twilight Princess HD. When I'm back from RTX, over the course, let's see, when I'm back from RTX, how many days will we have between stuff? So when I'm back from RTX, that'll be pretty much July 4th, July 5th. I will have another week until I have to go again, and so during the course of that, I will probably end up streaming through all the DLC stuff that I've been meaning to get around to, maybe a couple of side things that are short, like Oxenfree, and then once I'm done with all of those, once I'm done with Fallout 4 and the Witcher 3 DLC, we'll check out some other stuff like Bayonetta. I'll probably just go ahead. I've been trying to find my copy of Bayonetta 2 for the Wii U, which has a copy of Bayonetta 1 on it, because when I look online, new copies are like $100. And it's like, what? What the fuck? I can buy Bayonetta 2 by itself for 20 bucks and then buy Bayonetta 1 digitally for the Wii U for 20 bucks. And it's like, what is... So that's kind of weird. I've been trying to find it, but I haven't been, so I'll probably buy it. I'll probably buy the two things, depending on whatever the hell is the better choice there. So you can expect that. And then, oh god. I'm really hoping that I can manage my time well, because obviously I'm gonna have to have days where I'm rendering and editing and rendering and uploading. I'm gonna have to be super on the ball with it. Sometimes I'm not really. I do a lot of kind of on and off stuff. Like I'll edit 3 or 4 videos, cut them down, and then I'll go watch a couple YouTube videos, or go eat or something, or maybe just go to fucking sleep. And so there's a lot of that, and I gotta eliminate that. I gotta eliminate all kinds of free time that I end up having, so that way I can actually be a productive adult for once in the last couple of months, right? But once I'm done with all of that, once I've covered a bunch of stuff, we might finally get around to streaming the rest of the Assassin's Creed stuff and or Batman the Arkham series, because my god, have those been sitting around for a very long time, and Lord knows there's probably gonna be more games, at least for the Assassin's Creed series, so I gotta get to work on that. But we'll see, it all depends on timing. The biggest reasons how come I haven't gotten to Assassin's Creed and Batman is because those games are gonna be really long. Assassin's Creed games, typically, if I rush through them, they're gonna be 10 or 20 hours, but I don't rush games that much. Sometimes I do if there are things that are really annoying. Like Dark Souls 3, there were some really annoying parts. So I was like, I'll just run by these enemies. And so I did a little bit of rushing in that. But for Assassin's Creed, the only things that I'll probably skip are collectibles, maybe the repetitive missions. And at that point, I'll probably still end up putting in 25 to 30 hours in each Assassin's Creed. And I have, I have Assassin's Creed Rogue, Assassin's Creed Unity, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Is that all I have to do? It might be. And so with just that, that's 90 to 100 hours, maybe to 110, maybe to 120 hours of streaming that I'm gonna have to do. So then you do that again for Batman. That's how come I've been holding off, because it's gonna be a commitment. It's gonna be oh man, do you like Assassin's Creed? No? Well, that's all you're getting for 3 weeks. it would be bad. But we do have a lot of games coming out in August and September and October. There's been a lot of stuff shown. I don't have an exact list of everything that's coming out just yet. I need to, so that way I can update my spreadsheet for games I'm going to be checking. But now that we've talked a little bit about what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of months, basically a whole lot of streaming, we're going to talk about E3. So, E3. Now, this year's E3 was not terrible. There was a lot of, and I tweeted this stuff, I feel like this particular year's E3 was a lot of, okay, all right. If I had to give it like a rating overall, like a 1 out of 10, I would give it, in a lot of parts, about an 8. Maybe a 7 for some weird parts like Ubisoft talking about the Orlando shooting while having the Just Dance crew up there with like a giraffe suit and like clown painting and shit. Not a very smart thing to do. That was very fucking weird. That drops things down a little bit. But for everything else, for actually talking about games and showing off games and talking about what they're planning on doing, it was alright. Nothing that made me go, except for the typical stuff like all the sports games. I don't care about FIFA. I've never played a FIFA, so seeing a FIFA show up and them being like, hey, we have a campaign featuring Alex Hunter, that was kind of like, whatever. And then like Ubisoft ended their conference by showing a winter sports game. Shit, what the hell is it? It's called Steep. I was about to call it Skeet. That's not it at all. That's inappropriate. Steep. It only caught my interest when I watched a guy fucking like hit the mountain at a ridiculously high speed to the point where that person's definitely would have died in real life. So at that point I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll play it. But yeah, everything else, there was a lot of stuff that was shown that made me go, ooh, okay, yeah, I'm interested in playing that. But there wasn't a lot that was shown that made me go, holy shit, this is the next coming, oh my god, this is great. Oh man, Kingdom Hearts 3, oh my god, wow, this is crazy. No. Because most of the stuff that they showed off this year, we already generally heard of. All the stuff that they revealed this year was stuff that we kind of, well, for me personally, I didn't really care for. Like God of War, I've only played God of War 2, and I didn't like it that much. You know, when I played it, what was it, fucking a long time ago. we're talking 2007. So when they revealed God of War coming back, I was like, oh, okay. And what other games did they reveal? Resident Evil 7. We don't know a lot of information about that. And so that was kind of the pattern. It was like all the cool stuff that was revealed, like the brand new stuff that was revealed at E3 that didn't get leaked or anything. It was like, oh, can you tell me more? No, we had to find out next year. All right. And then everything else that we already knew about was like, oh, okay, all right, more Horizon Zero Dawn. We saw actual stuff that made it look like it's actually going to be a game and not just a weird fantasy fest of trying to fight against dinosaurs. Instead, it's going to be an actual game, third-person shooter RPG thing of fighting against robot dinosaurs and trying to explore the world. Yeah, all right, I like that. We saw something that looked like The Last of Us 2, but then it turned out to not be, and that made me sad. We saw State of Decay 2. We saw more stuff for Halo Wars 2. They released a Halo Wars 2 beta during E3. That was okay. I only played a couple of rounds on stream, and it wasn't, I feel like I'll have more fun with Halo Wars 2 and Halo Wars 1 when it's released on PC, and I have mouse and keyboard controls, and I can fucking do my micro macro shit, and then look like an idiot because I suck with all of those. But yeah, I like this E3. And then after all the conferences were over, I got to see some more side stuff. We got to see a lot of in-depth stuff on the new Zelda game. I saw Nier Automata. They showed like a boss fight trailer, and I have watched that boss fight trailer like 15 times. I really, really like the look of Nier Automata mostly because of the music. I really like the music, but it just looked like it'll be a fun game to play. It really looked like a fun game to play, and it makes me even want to like get my PS3 unburied from being underneath the PS4 and like grab a copy of the original Nier and play it. And I probably will, unless they do a remaster. Then I'll just play it on my PlayStation 4. That's been a kind of big pattern lately. You know, oh, they're releasing a new copy or a new sequel on the PlayStation 4, and the previous version gets remastered. Sweet! So like Uncharted, we had the Uncharted collection. I would have played it, but we just did those Let's Plays like 2 or 3 years ago, so I mean, we're good. I didn't need to redo those, especially because they were a little bit frustrating, but this E3 was alright. It was pretty solid. If I had to say one thing that was really exciting, I am really happy that Microsoft is not really so much doing a lot of cross-play stuff between PCs and consoles, but they seem to be saying, hey, okay, it kind of sucks that we have a lot of games that are exclusive, and it's kind of dragging things down. So hey, Xbox One and Windows 10 exclusive. We heard that fucking repeatedly through the E3 conference that they had. And it makes me happy because it means that, hey, I can run more games at 1080p 60 FPS rather than hoping that the Xbox One can handle it, which so far it really hasn't. However, with that said, Project Scorpio, that's another one of those things where I'm like, okay, are you gonna tell us more? Nope, come back next year. But I am interested in it. It sounds like, from what we've read and what they've basically blathered on about in their little trailer about it, Project Scorpio is basically gonna be like an Xbox One with better hardware inside of it, which is cool, which is actually a really neat idea. Even though it's gonna make developers hate Microsoft. I can see that, because they're gonna have to develop games that, well, it's pretty much gonna be like developing for a PC version, having lower settings, but they're gonna develop for basically 2 Xbox One archetypes, and then PC, if they're doing exclusive stuff. And so that's gonna be very interesting. But yeah, I'm happy to see more games not being super duper exclusive, and if they are being super duper exclusive, then at least you can have cross-platform play. Like they showed Forza Horizon 3, and they showed that a person playing on PC could join up with someone playing on the Xbox One. That's cool shit. If I was like a 15-year-old and I only had an Xbox One and I had a lot of friends on PC, which is my life, then it would be like, oh sweet, yeah, we can play together, fuck yeah, co-op, or just like racing. That's cool. That's really cool. Whereas all the other people are like, well, I'm not gonna blame EA for just trying to show off their games a little bit, but like Sony showed off a little bit of the VR stuff, but I've been a little bit of indifferent to VR stuff since I have my Oculus Rift. I still have to figure out how to record it. It's been a little bit of a pain in the ass, because like all the ways I've been trying to find out how to record this thing have not worked for me. So that's been really awkward. But yeah, I don't really care for PlayStation VR because I don't want to own like 3 VR headsets by the end of 2017, right? I don't want to have a Vive, an Oculus Rift, and a PlayStation VR, and then maybe a Microsoft VR. Oof. But hey, I liked E3. They showed a lot of cool stuff. I enjoyed it. You can definitely expect, hopefully sometime soon, probably while I'm at RTX, you know, maybe during the down hours, like the wee hours of the morning when everybody's still asleep, I'll edit a couple, or like, I'll not really edit videos, but I'll like go in and mess with my spreadsheet. So that way, the hundreds of games that I'm going to try and get around to will have even more games on the list that I'm going to get around to, because boy, I guarantee you like 90% of the stuff that they showed at E3, I'm going to be playing. You know, like even just this list I have right here, we have, you know, Sea of Thieves. That looked like it was a lot of fun. A lot of people were complaining and like, oh man, it looks terrible because of the way they presented it with the fake Let's Play. And while I can agree that the people they showed playing it were a little bit cringy at times, I enjoyed it. I mean, that looked like it was fun. Yeah, I can see while playing it, fucking one of my friends like walking off by accident, falling into the water, and everybody going like, well, good luck, bye, and just having the ship go off without them. That kind of stuff, that'll be fun. But other things that we're gonna play, you know, Nier Automata, definitely gonna play that. That looks fun. Resident Evil 7. I don't know. I don't know, because the demo is kind of like this PT-esque thing, but we don't know what the full game is going to be like yet. That was weird, but it's coming out like early next year, January of 2017. So it's like, what the hell's going on? But it did remind me that, hey, I own the Resident Evil HD remasters for Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 0, so I'm definitely going to be playing those sometime soon-ish. Maybe we'll do it for October. October's a great time to just say, hey, horror games, blam! Although October, fuck, no, never mind. October's going to have so many fucking games coming out between like October 20th and October 30th. It's basically a gaming dream nightmare scenario. So like, if you're trying to buy every single game, you're like, oh god, there's another one, and another one, and another one. So you either like that or you hate it, because it's gonna be a gas. But you know, I'm gonna be playing Battlefield 1. The Last Guardian's finally coming out. That means I gotta play Ico or Eco at some point. I've been meaning to get around to that one. Watch Dogs 2. Yeah, as much as I didn't really like Watch Dogs 1 that much, I'll play Watch Dogs 2. Probably, maybe, I probably should do the Watch Dogs 1 DLC in between now and then, huh? Maybe not. I always say that, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do the DLC before the next game comes out, and then it doesn't happen. So like with Dark Souls, I was gonna be like, oh, I'll play Dark Souls 2's DLC before Bloodborne comes out. and I did like 1/3 of them. Oh, I'll do the Bloodborne DLC before Dark Souls 3 comes out. Didn't even touch it. I shouldn't make that kind of promise, but other stuff, Halo Wars 2, For Honor, Pokemon Sun and Moon. I'm definitely going to be doing Pokemon Sun, and I'm definitely going to be doing Pokemon Omega Ruby sometime soon. I finally have my 3DS with a capture card inside of it set up. I now can actually record the audio. It'll be of quality. I don't know how high quality it is, but it'll be, you know, it's a 3DS, it's a mobile game. It's not exactly 1080p 60 FPS stuff, but it will be there. That you can expect that sometime soon. But I like D3, even though I think I've like rambled. I like D3 like 20 times by now. I like D3. It was all right this year. It was all right in a lot of places. It was good in a lot of places. There wasn't terribly a large amount for them to go. It gives me hope. It gives me hope that like companies aren't that out of touch. Like somebody at the company goes, you know what would be a good idea? What if we just give them video games? And they go, oh, that would make them happy, wouldn't it? And Aisha Tyler's like growing self-aware about the things that they do at the Ubisoft show, and she wasn't as bad this year. I don't know, I like Aisha Tyler and all her other roles, but on stage at Ubisoft it's like, yes, nerd jokes. Yep, we're basement dwellers. Yeah. it doesn't jive well with me. But this year wasn't that terrible. Minus the Orlando talk with the Just Dance crew in the fucking giraffe. The fucking giraffe. Why the giraffe? Just sitting right there, front and center, about this tragic event. What the fuck was that about, Ubisoft? Anyways, I think we'll end off here. I talked about what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a lot of streaming, a lot of it. In terms of games that I'm still going to be playing, I do want to definitely keep on playing Siege. I still need to play more Halo at some point. I will be playing more Enter the Gungeon, and definitely I need to get back to the Division and Darkest Dungeon at some point. That will probably be more towards like later July, just because that'll be when, you know, I'm not fucking sitting there going, oh god, I gotta prepare, I gotta do like last minute crunching for everything, because Lord knows once I have like all these streams recorded and stuff, I'm gonna have days where I'm pretty much just sitting there editing and editing and editing and rendering and transferring files and rendering and rendering. Oh, it's gonna be a mess. But oh well. If you're going to RTX, I'm going to be doing an update video next week, but if you're watching this preemptively, if you're going to RTX, you guys will definitely be able to see me there. It'll be fun, hopefully. Going to Austin on July... No, it's not July yet. On June 29th, and then I'm staying there pretty much throughout, all the way to July 4th. Oh god, driving out on July 4th is going to be a nightmare. Maybe I'll stay an extra day, just so that way I don't have to do that. We'll see. I have a lot of things to think about. But hopefully, I can get all this stuff done. We're going to try and finish Mirror's Edge Catalyst as soon as possible. And then we're also going to stream Heavy Rain and Twilight Princess HD over the course of this week, as well as probably do a whole lot of multiplayer recording stuff. So there might be a little bit of a lull, a little bit of a decrease in content for stuff that I don't have recorded. So bear with me. We'll try. I really apologize that we haven't been consistent lately, but I've been all over the place, so yeah. But thank you guys for listening, especially if you made it all the way here. It's been like 24 minutes, almost pretty much 24 minutes, so yeah. But thank you guys for listening. I will see you guys later.